Get through the morning every day. Every morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adelaide's Jody and Hazy on Nova.
This is hard to get your head around. Two pilots reportedly fell asleep for 28 minutes on a flight through Indonesia.
What?
Two pilots. So what you do is, when you got two pilots, if one falls asleep, you make sure the second one doesn't fall
Correct,
asleep.
yeah. It's a rotation system.
But then when they both fall asleep, you're in all sorts of things. You're really relying too heavily on autopilot, aren't
Yeah.
you?
But I don't want to diminish the role of pilots at all. But how much, when you fly a plane, is it all done for you, and how much are you genuinely in control?
I think it's pretty solid, but you don't want to rely on it too much though, do you?
Nah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
According to a prelim report released on the weekend by the National Transportation Safety Committee, that's a KNKT, crazy Christmas parties, by the way.
Nuts. Yeah.
If you've ever been to a KNKT Christmas party, oh my gosh, hungover for months, weren't you? Both pilots fell asleep at the same time for almost half an hour leading to the plane going off course. All 153 passengers landed safely in Jakarta, and there were no injuries reported. But what about when you're sitting there and just every sort of few minutes you're waiting for the captain to speak and just nothing? All right, here he goes. Nothing. Guys are just chucking Zeds around. They're snoozing.
Jeremy, you awake? No. Stephen, you awake? No.
13 24 10. When have you fallen asleep at an inappropriate time? Quite randomly. Let's just bring newsreader Abby into this. Anything you want to add to this particular story? I mean, could you contribute to that question, do you reckon, Abs?
Yeah, a few times. Let's just say I've either not woken up or I have had a little nap at a time that I shouldn't have.
Yeah. It happens.
It happens. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. I'm tired as a human.
I get it.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and you're the mum to two sausage dogs. It's
Yeah.
a lot on your plate.
Yeah.
However, falling asleep on the couch here at Nova while you're supposed to be reading the news, I mean, it's question marks. But you know what? At least you had no one else to blame but yourself. So if, for example, if you were to fall asleep while we're supposed to be on air, and I fell asleep at the same time, who's driving the ship?
Well, that's a very good point. And you've seen me fall asleep while I've been standing up before. Because I can do that. I can absolutely.
I don't have an excuse. I was sick. No one was here. Everyone was holidays. I was dying and I just couldn't be bothered. No.
I don't have an excuse. And then you've just listed off 8.
17 excuses. I remember back in the day when I was Casanova, I would never encourage this sort of behaviour.
No.
But I remember after a really big night, of course, I was completely sober. I need to absolutely stamp down on that. But I was just a little bit sleep deprived. And I remember genuinely behind the wheel at a traffic light falling asleep.
What?
Yes.
While you're driving the Casanova car?
And getting woken up by a co-Casanova. A little bit dangerous.
Yeah.
But it was a different time, guys. It was a different time.
It certainly
all right?
was.
Yeah.
Andrew, wake up.
Jody,
just
surely
pick it
with
up
2
like nothing
jobs
happened.
and 4 children, you've had a snooze at an inappropriate time.
I have to say, on Saturday night when the whole family was over for a barbecue, there was like a little outdoor couch, and one of my kids said to me, "Mum, every time I looked over at you, you were like blinking, like trying to stay awake." There are moments like that. There's no question.
It's good, isn't it? 13 24 10. When have you fallen asleep at an inappropriate time? Because sometimes sleeps just whacks you right between the face. Also, we've got some tickets to see the beautiful Joel Crease in his brand new comedy show, Boom, for the best caller.
Do you know when you have fallen asleep at an inappropriate time?
Yeah.
Every time I start talking to you about my netball team. Let's go to Amber. Good morning, Amber. Who fell asleep at an inappropriate moment?
That's my partner, Dylan. He's from the UK and he used to work in the police.
Yeah.
And, he was on a night shift and there was this emergency call through which they were on the way to, but he must have been coming down with something because he was feeling flat and he fell asleep on the way. And he woke up to all, like, the blue lights and the sirens and people in handcuffs, and he basically missed the whole thing.
Oh, my gosh. So what was he? Was he in the front seat or what was going on?
He must have been the passenger. So he just, stayed asleep in the front and everyone else handled it.
So you said he's a former cop. Did that aid his dismissal or he just moved on to a different job?
He did it in the UK. Now he's in Australia.
Oh, he got deported. Wow. Amber, thank you so much. You're in the running for first class and 50K just for being on air. Pat, who fell asleep at an inopportune time?
I used to work in the family court for many years, and, you know, when your blood sugar gets low at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you're listening to boring cross-examination, I'd fall asleep in front of the litigants and the parties, and then, and that was always very embarrassing. So you start to develop some tactics, like I'd eat the inside of my cheek, or I'd have ice water in front of me just to keep awake. Yeah.
Yeah. So you would nod off quite like on the red, or you'd always stop yourself?
Well, sometimes I'd doze off, and then that would be embarrassing, and then other times you'd be biting the inside of my cheek to the point where it bled, just to stay awake.
Oh, Pat, I quite often in court look at the sheriff's officers, and their shifts are quite short, but my God, sometimes I think, how are they not nodding off?
Yeah, and we used to have to make sure that the judge always had ice water as well, because they would doze off at times as well.
It's tough work.
Guilty. What?
God, that wakes you up. Whoa. I'm getting vibes from The Simpsons. You know that episode you probably don't know, Jodes, where it's Apu's involved and Homer's in court and he's asleep.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Yes, I'd like to bring something to the court's attention.
What? Give those glasses to the bailiff.
All right.
That's
You
Pat.
just need to get those little fake
dear
glasses.
me. Thank you so much, Pat. Danny, who fell asleep at the wrong time?
Well, after we had a 4-day pass for the Clipsal, and by day 3, I just needed a little nap under the tree.
Just a little recharge.
Right, okay, Danny, how on earth are you falling asleep with the noise of those supercars going around?
This surprise was very easy.
Really?
Napped it out for an hour, and then I was good to go.
Good on you.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
If you could sleep through the noise of Clipsal.
You can sleep through anything.
Oh my gosh, not sure that you is.
Danny, did you sleep when those, what are those fighter jets that go past?
Quite possibly. I don't remember seeing them, so maybe.
God. Well done. Emilio, when did you fall asleep?
Morning, guys. After a big night out, I had basically a specialist appointment at the eye specialist, and then I ended up sitting in the chair, and then I just was dozing off. And as the optometrist is trying to wake me up and saying, "Hey, you're all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm all right." So no, you're snoring. And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." It's just when it was shining the bright light though in my eyes, I just kept dozing off, and it's because I had a late night the night before, and it just kept happening. So a 45-minute appointment was turned into like an hour and a half.
Yeah, so really, they didn't jam your eyes open, did they? So every time they're trying to look at your eyes, and you were like just blinking off.
I'm trying to keep my eyes open, but then they're just rolling back, and I'm just going like snoring, and then they're nudging me saying, "You're falling asleep." I'm like, "Oh no, I'm not." Like, "Yeah, you're snoring." And I was like,
I love that they're trying to test Emilio's eyes, and they're like, "Emilio, can you read the bottom line over there? What are you seeing?" "Just black, mate."
Just black, all black.
Here's what you're waking up to, Adelaide.
News. In the news today.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
What's in the news today?
Your post-snooze news.
This is where we rip through all the stories that are important to you as you wake up this morning. Let's go to Abby in the newsroom.
Good morning. So obviously the very hot weather didn't really stop us from not enjoying the Mad March long weekend. They reckon more than 7,000 headed to Morphettville to watch Adelaide Cup, which is good. All of the pictures I saw from WOMAD, there were all of everyone there, which was great. And then obviously the fringe is still running as well. Temperatures, though, it got down to about 28 overnight in the city. At 12:30 it was still 31.
That's nuts.
And then it dropped to about 28, 27 around 3 o'clock when I was getting up. So yeah, it's still a hot one. We're not going to see much relief until Thursday. Thursday it's set to drop to 24. So that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, 34 again today, another 30, I think it's 32 tomorrow. So nice and hot.
What were crowds like at WOMAD? Because everyone was like, "Oh God, it's going to be so hot in the park."
Apparently, they moved a lot of stuff around, so there was more things in shade.
Okay.
Didn't see much to do with the bat situation. Didn't see too many falling and people posting about it. So
Not too many people weren't true. I thought it was going to be you were knee deep in bat carcasses.
yeah, that's kind of how it came across, to be honest. But yeah, I didn't see too many people reporting back on the bat situation. So hopefully they're still okay.
All the people going around collecting the bat bins from the weekend, like, "Oh, nothing."
Oh, nothing. Boring.
But yeah, sorry, we'll find out a bit more today. We'll find out some numbers as well. It's just a bit early, so just waiting for everyone to wake up and give us that.
Plenty of people at the Cup yesterday too.
Yes,
I
saw
thought
saw that.
Yeah, it was packed. All right, Kate Middleton, conspiracy theories, please discuss.
Oh, this is unbelievable, isn't
It's incredible. So the last time she was seen was December 25, Christmas Day. Who would have known what was about to unfold with Kate Middleton? So then the Palace, several weeks later, announced that she'd had abdominal surgery. So all the gossip has been swirling since then. She's had a Brazilian butt lift. She's going on Love Island. She had a fringe cut and now she's growing it out because she hates it. That's where we're at. And now...
That's actually probably quite believable, isn't it?
For a woman, yes, it is. Oh, my God, I look awful with a fringe. I'm not going anywhere.
For someone who you know, whatever she does in every single situation, she's going to get photographed.
Yeah.
If you had a bad haircut, you'd be like, right...
Somehow.
Hiding for a couple of months.
And now there's a photo that's been released, but no one's running it. Like Reuters or the news agencies are saying we can't. That's against our doctoring policy because they're saying it's all been photoshopped, which it has. Clearly, you can see there's something a bit amiss with her hand, like a Kardashian photo that's always a bit warped at some point because they've messed with it so much. And now people are saying that's not even her. She's been photoshopped in from a Vogue cover shoot from years ago. Like, what is going on?
I'd love it if it was a family photo of mine. They'd be like, well, it's definitely AI because the daughter's wearing shoes on the wrong feet. It just doesn't make sense. You're like,
No, it doesn't make sense.
It's AI, isn't it?
Yeah. Or maybe Lottie just likes to select her own clothing and put it on her feet.
Classic. There you go.
So that's where we're at with Kate Middleton.
Watch this space.
Yeah.
Oh, AI, eh? What an excuse for everything.
I know.
Oh.
Newsy.
Just spend the next 30 seconds or so just saluting Alex Carey and what he did yesterday or over the weekend for
Sure.
Australian cricket team.
Okay.
That was just ridiculous. The Aussies had no right to win that, by the way. And you're looking at me like you're not quite... You're not as interested in this as you should be.
Because I'll tell you why. The NBL finals are on, so I'm interested in that. And also, we've just ripped into footy season, so cricket's a little bit low on my
Are
radar.
you very much kidding me? You're going to say you're going to put the NBL finals, the playoffs, which we don't have a team in there, you're going to put that above Alex Carey scoring 98 not out, carrying Australia to what will now be a pretty famous victory over the Kiwis.
Yes, do you know why? Because basketball's exciting, and it's 2 hours, and it's run and one, and it's entertainment from start to finish. Cricket, however, goes for about 8 hours every day.
We may not have a team in there, but the Jack Jumpers are in there.
Tassie Jack Jumpers. The Jackies, we love them. We're on them.
Oh, my God. Is this what it... Oh, thank you, ladies. This is what it feels like when I talk to you about sports you don't care about. I'm getting those feelings. It's a real shallow, empty feeling.
Oh, you can't tell me Will Magnay isn't an entertainment machine.
Yes,
Thank you very
I can.
much.
I definitely can. I definitely can tell you
Say that to his face.
Do you know how bad this is? I didn't even know that there was cricket on.
Oh,
yeah.
I got in this morning and went, oh, far out, there was cricket on.
Goodness
Don't boo her.
Come on, Abby.
Didn't watch it over the whole weekend.
Yeah, bloody busy with the general.
Yeah, I was very busy.
There you go. That is your post-snooze
I love that.
news on the Tuesday.
You didn't watch the cricket because you were having relations with a peacock.
You and the peacock were busy between the sheets.
Sheets. It was too hot for sheets.
Oh, I bet you. Spare us the details, Abby. Woo! It's hot now. Oh, my gosh. It just rose about 38 degrees.
Ever had feathers rubbing against your skin?
No.
Woo,
and
boiling.
that goatee. Woo! Unbelievable stuff. I'm just going to put this out there straight away. Who does the budgeting at your house?
Husband.
Good.
Yeah.
Right. Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because he's good at that stuff, and he's a man who is very adept at a spreadsheet, and that is sexy.
Yeah. Okay. Is it?
Yep.
There you go.
Anyone, if you're a bloke and you can use Excel,
Oh.
I probably want to jump you.
Wow. Who saw that coming? Not me. I thought it was going to be something physical, like if you could work a nail gun or you could do some sort of tradie-based skill.
No, Excel spreadsheet. Love it. Because
What about all those nerds at home? Your ears are pricking up right now. Like, ooh, okay, finally. Finally, the tables have turned.
Finally, it pays off.
With their beautiful, skinny, soft hands.
Says Jim, the accountant, who's been tapping away at his computer for years. And he's like, finally, I'm wanted.
Finally. Okay, I mean, physically, he's just not what stereotypically a woman wants. But finally, Tim's like, I'm on. I'm on. And I'm too old. Well, then you're going against the grain if you guys were living in Japan.
Yeah.
In Japan, traditional gender roles strongly influence household finances, with wives typically managing budgets even when both partners work.
Wow. So wives are allocating allowances.
Yes. And 100% I could quite easily live in Japan.
Yeah.
Cara does everything in terms of budgeting. She gives me a weekly allowance.
Oh, does she?
A certain amount of money, and it's not much, by the way, goes into my account every single week.
Yeah.
And that's how much I can use. And that's not just at her request, but it's also at my request as well.
Okay.
Because I'm not a smart... I was about to say I'm not a smart man.
Not a smart
I
man.
couldn't even say smart. Right. I'm not good with money at all.
No, right.
Yeah.
And so what are you spending your money on?
Well, I eat out too much, first and foremost.
Yes, you do.
You know, when people say, oh, here's $50, it's your last $50, what would you use? And someone's like, oh, I'd invest it or I'd do this and this.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, I'm going to spend $40 on a big, hearty breakfast.
Yeah.
Because once I've got a big, beautiful breakfast, eggs, bacon, all the other sides, then I can come up with a plan.
Then you've got $10 left to sort your life out.
You got $10, but then you probably get a juice and maybe a couple of coffees.
Yeah,
so
but then you're like, oh, I've got $10 left. God, that halloumi looks delicious.
Yeah.
Chuck that on there. It's all good.
put that on there as well. No, I completely agree with this. And yeah, I would understand as well how you're not good at budgeting.
Me?
For example.
Oh.
For example, and once again, bless you, Jodes. But when you've got free range to your bank account, you bought me this ridiculous stuff. And this is all, you're always going to come back to this. You bought me this ridiculous stuff from Gold Coast, which is supposed to help my manky feet. But you bought it off a bloke on the side of the street whose name was what, Jim or Barry or something?
No, I don't know. His phone number's on there. Feel free to call him if you're not happy with the product and you've still got fungal infection on your big toe.
Well, I still very much do.
Okay.
In fact, I think it might be getting worse.
Well,
also, this number doesn't exist.
That is bad because that was my last $60.
Yeah, right. And now Jim's enjoying a delicious breakfast with all the sides.
Now that's a joke.
That was a joke.
That's a joke. Joke. That's a terrible joke.
Yep, this is how you start your week off. And given we usually do this on a Monday, it's just had a bit of a sleepover, and now we're doing the Monday morning joke off on a Tuesday.
Oh, it's woken up tired. You know when your kids have a sleepover and they go to sleep at 1 a.m?
Yeah.
And then the next day, the parents hand them back to you and you're like, what have you done to
What have you done?
kid?
Just fed them sugar and didn't let them sleep.
Yeah, my
Easy.
kid's like a feral beast right now.
Yeah, they're genuine little sugar junkies.
Yeah. Anyway, so the joke off, that's the mood it's in this morning.
Yes, which seamlessly brings news reader Abby in. Morning, Abs.
Morning.
Speaking of moods, how are we tracking after a long weekend? We good?
I didn't have to work all long weekend for once, so that was nice.
That's nice. Oh, very refreshing.
It's good. You should be up and about.
No comment. Who wants to go first, Joe? Do you want to kick us off?
I can if you like.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, guess what happened over the weekend?
What?
Just got hospitalised due to a peekaboo accident.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know.
Surprise me with you.
They put me in ICU.
You just got to separate the letters and then turn them into words. That's pretty good.
See what I did there?
That's pretty good.
See what I did there? Stealing a joke off the internet?
Yep, that is classic. All right, I'll give it a bit of a crack now, if you don't mind.
Sure.
And then we'll build up to you, Habs, because you're always so strong, willing and courageous in this space.
I think mine's quite long today, and I think I'm going to get fired. So
Okay. Well, you say that every week. You say that every week. So how about you actually walk the walk this week? Mine's more of a statement too, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah.
So look, I'm just going to throw some sums at you.
Yeah.
If special happy cuddles with three people is called a threesome, and special happy times with mum and dad with four people is called a foursome, and I guess now it's clear why everyone calls me handsome. Do you get it? She doesn't get it, Abs.
I was going to do this joke to you today, but I went, I better not because it's too dirty.
I'll run it past you first, Abby. There we go.
Oh, yeah, that was
People call
good.
me handsome.
Oh my God.
Why would they call Hazy handsome?
I don't understand.
If a threesome is a
Yeah.
Three,
foursome is
Yeah.
four.
handsome.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
That's fun, isn't it? All right, so I was going to say, Abs, clean us up, but take us to the next level.
Yeah. We're already in the gutter, Abs.
I can't believe I was going to do that. And actually, yeah. Anyway, okay. So there's two people. They're getting a little bit older and they're sort of hard of hearing, okay?
Yep.
They're having some problems in the bedroom. So they go to a psychologist and they say, we're having some issues, blah, blah, blah. What can we do? And she said, well, you're both sort of getting to the point where you're hard of hearing. So you need to come up with a non-verbal way to talk to each other when you're feeling in the mood.
Okay.
Yep.
So the woman says, okay, well, how about if you want to, or if you don't want, she says to her partner, if you don't want, adult cuddles, reach around and grab my boob and press it once. And she goes, if you do want it, reach around, grab it twice. And the guy's like, yeah, okay, cool, no problems.
Fairly straightforward.
So he says then to her, okay, with me. Maybe with me, reach around once and grab my undercarriage.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you don't want it.
Yeah.
But if you do, reach around and grab it 50 times.
50 times.
Yeah.
What if she gets to 47 and both stop?
I
Very
reckon he'd
confusing,
still be
isn't it?
pretty happy.
I love that the person who laughed the hardest at that joke was Abby.
Yeah.
Because it was funny.
Oh, do you know he's always armed with really, really lame, cheesy jokes? That's our boy Tom Wren.
Oh, yes.
I was going to say Jodie.
Tom Wren joins us next to wrap up the weekend of sport.
The Weekend Sports Wrap with Tom Wren. I love myself. I want you to love me.
I would too if I was Tommy.
Yeah. Do you know what I love about this segment so very much? The fact that you're a sports reporter. Yeah. You could easily handle any sport that is thrown at us on the weekend, but because you love Tommy so much, we have to get him in each and every week to talk about sport.
Two's better than one.
Yeah.
You put these two beautiful brains together, anything could be solved.
That's it.
I'm not even kidding. We were just sitting on the couch then during the song, and Tommy was rubbing your leg like it was the most natural thing in the world.
You just give me inspiration. That's what we do. It's like it's our way of giving each other a pep talk.
He's up and about now, that is for sure.
Look at him, he's got a spring in his step now. Welcome, Rennie. Hey, let's get straight into it. A bit of footy. Obviously, it started last week, but for us, it starts this week.
It sort of felt like it was an okay start. Not sure if they should do it every season. Worth a crack, but I don't think it was an overall massive winner, was it? The opening round? It was okay. Bit underwhelming, the Thursday night game.
Yep.
Friday night was a cracker,
Yeah.
Brisbane-Carlton. But look, they tried it. They've done it. 4 games on the weekend. We've got the full gamut this weekend. Crows and Port, of course, playing. But a bit of a blow for Port Adelaide with Ollie Lord out with that broken leg. I guess it solves the issue of how they're going to fit all those tall forwards in. They don't have to play Lord for at least 6 weeks, but disappointing because he looked like he'd had a pretty good pre-season.
Yeah, and came off the track as well. And isn't it funny when if you go to and get a scan and they tell you you're out for 8 weeks and it's actually relief? So on his way, the report was that they were so confident that he'd done an ACL and then gets a scan back. It's a cracked tibia with a little bit of bone bruising, which isn't great, but very, very repairable and no sort of aftermath. So 8 weeks actually not a bad result.
That's pretty good, isn't it? So, second half of the season, he should be available. He's only young, 21. I mean, we saw in that final against Brisbane last year, he's got games. So hopefully they get him back and he can make a real impact second half.
Yeah, the first half round was really weird. It was like being a little bit pregnant. Like, you know what I mean? Either you're in or you're out.
Totally with you. Yeah, exactly. It was really weird. It was bizarre. Great result for Gold Coast. And didn't GWS make a big statement against Collingwood? They looked outstanding in that game.
Thoughts on Mason Cox?
Bizarre. If you're going to pick a target of someone to run into, don't go into Shane Mumford.
Yeah, spot on. I think it's going to all emerge that. And I know he did the whole, check out my podcast for my version of events and everything. But it seems like what's going to eventually come out today is that GWS took one of their balls and then Mason Cox went and grabbed the ball while they were using it in their little ruck contest. So he basically took the ball back. But still,
it was just clumsy, wasn't it? It was a bizarre incident. Look, I don't think there'll be too much to come out of it, but I think he's probably lucky that the big mummy didn't fire up or grab him in a choker hold or something.
Can I just say what everyone's thinking? I don't like Mason Cox.
Oh, what? We love Mason Cox.
Mate.
Everyone loves Mason Cox.
No.
What's your problem, James?
I think Jody might be with the majority, actually.
Does that go against everything we'll talk about off air? I think it does.
I know. Jeez.
What a stitch up, eh?
Certainly that's not what you were saying during the songs
What
about
do you
Mason
mean?
Cox, was it?
Look, a bit of fun from the big fella.
And Taylor Walker?
Yeah, speaking of big fellas.
Well, back spasms, a little bit worried. He's 33. Look, he was so good last year. You know, arguably his best ever year in the competition, All-Australian. But slight concern. Did look a little bit ginger yesterday at training. Hopefully he should be all right. I think he'll play, but that's a bit of a watch this week for the Crows fans.
So, question without notice, Ronnie. Is Taylor Walker the Crows' most important player? And given as well, you've got blokes like Jordan Dawson playing.
I think he probably is.
It's huge.
That said, I actually think, and gamble responsibly, Jordan Dawson for the Brownlow is a very, very good chance this season.
Speaking of gambling, did you have a little punt on the cup yesterday, Tom Wren?
Little bit of a flutter.
I know you're part of a little group there where you all like to have a little flutter, responsibly, of course.
A lot of groups, actually. And then one on my own, which goes pretty badly. Yeah, great ride. I was disappointed for Jamie Carr and the Murray Bridge connections, Upi, McGilvray and Dan Clarkin, but a great run by Harry Coffey. That was a really good race. Good crowd out there. They're doing a lot of good things, SA Racing. So it was a fantastic day and a great race, a really thrilling result. So well done to all of the connections yesterday for acceleration.
Very nice indeed.
Hey, before we let you get out of here, Ray, you know the drill. I know it's not Monday, but it's Tuesday. We've carried the Monday morning joke off over. So what have you got for us?
Well, this one is worth the wait. So what do you call a pony with a sore throat? A little horse. Yeah, Jody saw that one. Yes.
You've come off the long run for that one.
I was
plenty of time.
Worth the wait. It's been worth a year and a half wait. Ready, thank you.
Oh, goodness. I'll see myself out.
All right.
Jody and Hazy, song.
There she is, producer Zoe.
Good morning.
Here we go.
Good morning.
We've just been told not to abuse the adjudicator this week.
I like that
Andrew
I didn't
Hayes.
tell you not to do it.
No.
Someone else has had to intervene.
Yeah.
Stop yelling at her.
I like how Joe's with the team option here. She said, we've been told. I got
Hazy
told.
got told. Em literally goes, Hazy.
Definitely got told.
Yeah.
Can I just confess something? I've had 2 big coffees this morning and it's messed with my central nervous system, so my anxiety is through the roof right now.
Oh, good.
No, isn't it good?
No, it's not.
Genuinely.
No, it's gone the other way.
So I think if we're reading between the lines, Hazy, be nice is what Jodie's saying. Be nice.
Okay.
Just don't be your normal obnoxious self in this
Oh,
space.
how very dare you.
Okay.
All right. You've got to go into this thing with full-on confidence.
All right, if this is the first time you're listening, this is how it works. 2 songs have been orchestralised and we've got 2 people playing with us this morning.
Yes, for a $100 pasta voucher. We've got Libby from Modbury North on Team Hazy. She did choose Hazy.
On you, Libby.
Hey, how you going?
Yeah, good.
Interesting choice, Libby.
And then Teresa from Anglevale has got Team Jody this morning.
Let's go, Joe.
There you go.
Hi, Teresa. Okay, everything crossed. Let's go.
Libby might have chosen Hazy, but Teresa had your back in that moment, you know?
Yeah.
That's nice. That's
Yeah.
good. Here we go.
Song 1.
We ready to go?
Let's go.
Okay. Not even
Jody! That's Lady Gaga. Poker face. Poker face. Poker face.
Yeah, girl. Yeah, it is.
There you go.
I will accept poker face.
Channeling Gaga.
It was kind of the chorus. That was a really strong start from Oddie.
I wasn't even close. I wasn't even
No.
trying to work it out.
You had that face on that you've got when there's really not much going on between the ears.
Eyes are looking in
Resting
different
confused face.
Yeah.
Eyes are genuinely looking in different directions. There's dribble coming out of my ears.
Yeah, it's not good. But
that's what I had.
strong lead from Oddie.
All right.
Song number 2.
Here we go. It's Game of Thrones or something like that.
No, shush. A tough one.
Hazy. Bon Jovi, It's My Life.
He's got it. Nicely done.
That's where you could get.
That was really
I had to sing it for a little while in my head.
But
then it
also,
came to me.
I love that you turned and you pointed to me and said that was good by me.
Are we all in agreement?
Yeah, it was good by you. That was a tough one.
As if in this space I'm going to go for you
Yeah.
for a bit of praise.
For a bit of affirmation.
Oh,
I love it when
geez.
this happens. It's a tiebreaker.
This is really
Okay.
intense, isn't it?
All right, for the win. Song number 3. Let's go.
Jodie! That's
on.
Rihanna, Umbrella.
She's got it. Jodie.
There you go, Teresa.
Oh, wow. I'm going to have 2 copies every week and be off my face. Yeah.
Unbelievable sense. Which brings us to 5 apiece.
Whoa.
There you go.
This is tense this
is
year.
exciting.
What's an intensely close contest?
It's nice to be close this year.
Yeah, I know. What's going on
Bit
there?
of a blowout last year. We've touched on that. There's
Yeah.
no need. We can just move forward.
You really found yourself, or maybe I'm just not trying.
Oh, for goodness sake.
You know, I wish that was the case. I'm trying my hardest. At no stage in 2 of those songs did I even pick up a cent.
No.
This little music hound couldn't even pick up a cent.
They were tricky. You did a good job.
Hey.
Yeah.
Bon Jovi was a good get. Well done.
Oh, thanks. It's 5 apiece, gloating like an absolute idiot.
What was a big party yesterday, Andrew Hayes, and that was the Adelaide Cup down at Morfordville.
Yes, it was. Look at them. They're all safe, by the way.
Yes, there was a little bit of concern over the horses just because it was nudging 40 degrees, but we were sort of up close. We were at the finish line actually just watching the horses, and they did a really good job in the sense that the horses came out, they got them onto the track, they raced, they got them off, and there were fans everywhere. They were misters, they hosed them down, and I spoke to the organisers and no horses were treated throughout the day for heat exhaustion or anything like that. So that was good.
Yeah.
But it was a fun day and people flocked down to Morfordville despite the heat and it was really cool.
Yeah, so what were people wearing, and particularly the blokes, were guys in full suits?
Nah.
Because that's full on, isn't it?
No, definitely not. The guys' shirts, pants as a maximum. No one was wearing a jacket.
Any shorts?
Nah.
No?
Not that I saw.
Okay.
Nah.
If ever there was a time to break the shorts out,
Yeah. Was yesterday.
surely when it's like 38 degrees.
But it was an interesting situation because by the time I got there, it was pretty late in the day and there were a few fizzy lemonades that had been consumed.
Sure.
And I was there with my mother-in-law, and my mother-in-law is Jamie Carr, the jockey's auntie.
Well, there you go.
So there's a family connection for us. So
Nice
that's why
connection.
we went along to support her yesterday. She had an absolute belter, had a couple of winners, couple of seconds, couple of thirds.
Wow.
Just not the cup.
Just not the cup. She lost by a bees, you know what.
Yeah, so it was literally a nose in it. And I was a little nervous because I love my mother-in-law, but she doesn't drink. And she was surrounded by a lot of blokes who'd had a skinful. And so there was a bit of feedback during the cup when Jamie lost.
Yep.
And there are a few people behind us sort of yelling stuff like, I want my money back, Car, and all this sort of stuff. I'm like, I'm pretty sure she won you a bit across the course of the day. But anyway. And so I was like sitting there going, oh, please don't say anything stupid. Please don't force me into a position where I'm going to have to turn around and say, oh, you pull your head in.
Yeah.
So that was fine. The feedback was okay and everyone was actually in good spirits. The biggest feedback I got of the day, however, was when I went to the bar to get a drink and someone came up behind me and said in my ear, oi, you, lay off my mate Hazy.
That's good. That's finally the feedback has reached
Some
Jodie.
bloke called Harry, that's your mate, came up to me and had a crack. And I literally turned around to him and said, mate, I get paid money to take the PI55 out of him and I will continue to do it.
No, please keep on fighting the good fight. Well done, Harry. Because this stern conversation needs to be had probably behind closed doors and not after few thousand pink lemonades. But still, thank you, Harry. Finally.
Oh, are your little feelings hurt? Because my other feedback to Harry was he dishes out a little bit.
Yeah.
So he can learn to take it. Thank you very much.
It comes back just a little bit the other way.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anyway.
We were sitting in the newsroom as well yesterday watching Jamie Carr, and then we were like, well, she didn't win. Now what on earth are we going to use for break words? You know, those little words that come up on the screen? It's already locked in, fast car, K-A-H. Oh, no. Now what the hell are we going to do?
Disaster.
8:53 on Adelaide's Nova 919. It's Jody and Hazy. Coming up next, Jodes, we might just recap on what was song to song.
Yeah, can we? And well done on you for getting through that whole break and not suggesting that your nickname is Horse.
Oh, what?
Well done.
Oh, opportunity lost.
We're going back in time. Hazy's on this Daisy. In time.
Tuesday, sweetie. Time for a little trip down memory lane. Let's go back to the 12th of March, 1894. First bottles of Coca-Cola went on sale.
Oh, if only someone would have a sip of that and like it. And that sales would take off globally and they could make a little bit of cash. You know?
Potential there, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's genuine potential. I would like to know how many litres of Coca-Cola I've consumed over my life.
You're a big Coke drinker.
I certainly was in my younger days.
I'm a big Coke, no sugar girl. Probably one a day.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a lot when you add it up. And now we're at the stage, we've got a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old.
And they want Coke.
We're trying to hide it from them.
I know. We have a very strict, only a little bit of Coke on the weekends.
Yeah, it's a sometimes. It's a sometimes drink.
It is a sometimes drink.
But my 3-year-old daughter would love a little bit, just a little glass of Coke with breakfast.
Does she come and say, Mummy lets me?
Yeah, Mum lets me have Coke for breakfast. Now, I don't know a lot about your mother and my wife, but I know for a fact that she would not give you Coca-Cola for breakfast, okay?
Or ever.
2002 animated film Ice Age premieres. A damn squirrel. Bloody pesky squirrel.
Oh, God, he's a nuisance.
2012 The Hunger Games starring Jennifer Lawrence premieres. Can I get something off my chest? I've never seen The Hunger Games.
I've seen a little bit, but I don't really like watching shows where the aim is to make people kill each other. I'm just not about it.
You're just so wholesome, aren't you?
I'm not wholesome. I just like shows that make me feel good, you know?
You're like a giant fan of Succession.
Yeah.
Which is a show based on family hatred, inner family feuding.
That's true. There's a place for it.
Money, greed, and everything that comes with it, all the nasty things.
Yeah, but I'm bleeping Shiv Roy. She's got some toot. I love her.
Number one song on this day, back in March 12, 2004, was Yeah by Usher. And you thought, well, this song could get some legs. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a bit of a hit for the great man.
Yeah, but also, like, what about him coming up in the name of the song? Someone's just walked down the street and gone, oh, yeah, there's Usher. And he's gone,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Usher goes, hey, Lil Jon, what should we call it? And he goes, what? Because we're going to call it Yeah. And then Lil Jon goes, okay.
Let's go. In the club with my homies, trying to get a little VI, keep it down on the low key.